going on, everybody? It's your boy Chad Arms, a.k.a. Chatty Bobby. All up the
And my name is Tony, a.k.a. Friday the 14th.
And this is Over the Top with Chad and Tony.
Yeah, I don't know how to come in after that. It's pretty much impossible.
I know. I need to stop doing it.
He gets too excited.
I get hyped, dude.
It's okay though. I get hyped for these, man. This is so much fun to be doing all these.
It is, man. We're on episode 4.
Crazy episode.
I'm good at accents, by the way.
Yeah.
Hashtag. This is going to be about something that I've talked about before on the channel a few times. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, this is the first horror
episode that we're going to do, and it's going to be the first time we go into a year of movies that we like and everything. So
yeah, and this is going to be 1981 horror movies. Now, there's so many. There's over 60 movies that we could find from 1981. Yes. Obviously, we haven't seen all of them. We're going to talk about, I'd say, probably a third of those.
Yeah, I'd say so. I've got a pretty good list of ones that we can touch on that I'm fans of. There's some that I looked up some list of people's top 10 lists and all that of this and everything. There's some that I have not seen that are on people's lists. Mm-hmm. So that'll be at some point. We'll talk about ones that we haven't seen, but
for sure,
it's gonna be a fun episode. 81 was just a staple year for a horror fan.
For horror movies, for sure, and obviously we'll get into it, but. Before we do that, obviously we'll tie up some like loose ends from the past episode.
Yes.
Movies that we grew up with or grew up on or childhood favorites.
There's a big hit. I mean, that episode there's a ton of comments on that where people were just dropping movies that they grew up on.
Yeah, and it was cool because a lot of them were similar to what we had seen. And then there was some that we
I've never seen. I've gained a list of movies that I've never seen or heard of before from being in the premiere from people suggesting movies. So this has been a lot of fun to deal with, go through and all that. And then, like I said, I've added a list on my phone of movies to watch now that never even heard of. Yeah. Thanks to y'all.
Yeah, for sure, man. And if y'all haven't already, the link's in the description. Y'all can be sure to follow us on Instagram and all that. We've also, if you tap in on the audio side, we've got the smart link there where you can tap in on Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever it is you use.
Find us wherever your ears can listen.
Hell yeah, it was put together well, Tony. Great job.
It was going through my head.
It was. I could see the wheels turning.
Yeah, the wheels were seriously turning on that one.
They were turning
in a major way.
But yeah, we're gonna get into it, man.
1981. Where do you want to start at? You pop off one from 1981.
So when we were going through our list of the ones we wanted to talk about, 90% of them are the lists are the same.
Yes.
As far as the movies that we were going to talk about. Because there's a batch of these that neither one of us have seen, and then there's a batch that are really bad.
Yeah.
Which is kind of how you roll the dice.
There's a batch of some that are so bad that they're enjoyable, and which that's going to be another episode too down the line, because there's a bunch of bad movies that we have a lot of fun with.
Oh, for sure. Teen Wolf's one of them.
Very true. Very true.
But there was a couple of you want to start with the dope sequels, some of the best, or do you want to?
A dope sequel right off. I mean, I guess we'll get to the two top sequels probably from 81. Is we'll jump right at Friday the 13th Part 2.
Absolutely,
we'll get it. That came out May 1st of 1981, so that came out before the other one. We'll get to here in just a second. Whew, get ahead of myself. But yeah, Friday the 13th Part 2 came out on May 1st.
Yep.
Directed by Steve Miner.
Yep.
Which he also did Part 3.
For sure.
The next year.
And if anybody's wanting to know the Friday 13th knowledge, that one.
I wouldn't say all the knowledge.
I didn't say all of it. I said the knowledge. Yeah. You know what I mean? But where does Friday 13th Part 2 sit with you on your list? Because at some point we'll do a franchise.
Have to do a whole list. It's right there because we got 10, right there in the middle of the pack for me. And it's an awesome sequel, which the top 5, top 6 Friday 13th movies to me are solid all the way through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a solid sequel. The only thing I just really didn't get is how Jason was able to find Alice so quickly.
So fast.
And able to find her wherever she was, in her home.
Yeah, whop her real quick.
And put the ice pick in her head and then disappear for 5 years.
Yeah, he for sure did. I really do enjoy the second one. I'd probably say it's my second or third favorite out of the. I think my favorite one is 4.
I go back which we'll go back and forth.
Right.
I go back and forth between 3 and 4.
Yeah, but 2 is also when you got what's the girl, the blonde-headed girl's name?
Oh gosh, now see, you got me on this one. And you got where's our fun
Squizzles,
fact?
Friday the 13th Part 2.
So Friday the 13th Part 2 is starring Amy Steele, John
Steele.
Fury, and Adrian King.
Yes,
Boom. Appreciate
Adrian
you,
King.
Squizzles.
Yeah, Adrian King was Alice when she got put off.
Steele, she's the one from Walk Like a Man, where Howie Mandel was raised by wolves, and he's like a dog person.
See, another movie I've never even heard of before.
The movies that I have seen compared to movies I haven't seen, it's alarming.
Well, see, they wanted Alice to be a major part in Part 2, but she was being stalked by a obsessed fan. So she came in. Yeah,
Fun fact.
Yeah, and that's what kind of hesitated her from being in Part 2, and that's why she was. I think she filmed maybe for one day. She filmed that.
Wow, I did not know that. So they just wrote her character out.
Yeah,
I wonder what they were going to do.
I'm not quite sure. I know that she
They
was
just had plans for
they
her.
had plans for her, but I know she was being obsessively stalked by a fan and everything. Go after Part 1 and everything.
That's wild. But yeah, Friday the 13th Part 2. That's when. I know this sounds weird, but to me, that's when that series started.
Yes, yeah. That's when you
Well,
really
Jason,
get Jason.
yeah,
You
'cause
get
you don't
Jason.
get Jason
Of course,
the
you
first
don't get the
one.
hockey mask. You get the potato sack head Jason,
Yeah, shout out to Potato Sacks.
which
Shout out to
was
Tater
played by
Tots.
Steve Dash. One of Chad's a huge fan of Steve Dash. Watch that mic.
You were a douchebag to me, and I did nothing to you. We were at a horror convention. We were chilling. We were in line to meet C.J. Graham, I think. C.J. was cool as shit.
CJ's one of the coolest guys you'll
cool
ever
as
meet.
shit. And we're standing in
Shout
line,
out
and
CJ
Steve
Graham.
Dash was being a douchebag over in his little section. Nobody was over there getting autographs, of course. And then he gets up and tells me to get my fat ass out of his way as he's walking by. And I'm not even really in his way.
Yeah, he just total.
So he
douchebag
died
moment.
shortly after that. I'm not saying karma played a part, but we never know. Just treat people right, Steve Dash. and
Yeah,
maybe-
that's all you had to do. You didn't have to call somebody names.
Shout out Steve Dash, though.
Bam, right back. Once again, blast somebody and you shout them
Well,
out right
first,
after.
going back Kirk Cameron, I don't actually hate Kirk Cameron. I hate his acting. It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
him being a conservative, Christian human being. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I'm talking about his acting was the shits. Okay?
Kirk
He could be a
Cameron.
great person. I'm a great person. But if I acted and it was shit, tell me it's shit. Don't
Same
be like,
reason why I hate
you know,
Nicole Kidman. She could be a great person. I just
you
hate her.
Nicole Kidman.
It's just her spangly pantsuit. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
well.
but yeah, back to you had
Steve Dash. Yeah,
He
RIP.
was, he played the potato sack head Jason, and then you had Warrington Gillette that came in and played the unmasked Jason.
What a
Barnes.
name.
Warrington Gillette, the best a man can get.
Tony's been working on his vocals off camera the past few weeks, and they're really starting to improve.
You never know. I may be on a feature with Chad here down the line.
Let's go, dude. Warrington Gillette. That's the name of the new EP. Warrington.
Sold.
God, just saying Warrington. That just sounds. You can't say that fast.
But that movie was super creepy. It's probably one of the more creepier out of the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
It has that feel to it. The music by Harry Manfredini is classic as always. And then when you get into the end scene in the shack and all that stuff, and you have Pamela's mural right there, just a great movie, great sequel.
No, for sure.
But another sequel that came out that year, right at Halloween, October 30th, was Halloween 2.
I love Halloween 2, dog.
Halloween 2 is great.
I feel like Halloween 2 doesn't get the love that it deserves to get. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody
with that.
talks about the original.
Yes.
Everybody talks about the zombie one.
Yep.
Everybody talks about, like these new ones. God.
Don't even.
No, that's gonna be-
that's
we're-
a show for a different time.
Me and Tony are going to argue when we do the Halloween franchise.
Well,
Friday the 13th, I don't
We're
think
gonna.
we'll
I think we'll totally agree with the new Halloween movies, though.
No, for sure. Yeah. But I just feel like Halloween 2 kind of just gets, I just think it's really good, man.
I love the score. I love the score to Halloween 2 more than the score to the 78 Halloween.
Yeah.
Because that's when Carpenter's coming in full synthesizer mode and he's kicking in those synths and everything. It's
That's
just
when that shit started really taking off.
And I
he
really
was already doing it,
yeah.
obviously.
And I really love how Halloween 2 picks up immediately right after 78 Halloween.
I love the setting, like the setting that the Halloween 2.
Yeah, it's close. It's all in the hospital.
The hospital
and then
setting's dope to
Loomis
me.
and Brackett are out trying to find Michael and all that. It's It's probably right there with, I'd say, out of the original Halloween movies, probably the most brutal Myers, up to the zombie Myers.
When he burns the person like in the water and shit.
Oh yeah,
that's just terrifying.
Oh, when he picks up the nurse with the scalpel, picks her up, and it's brutal Myers.
It was a brutal Myers because you got to think the first Halloween.
There's hardly any blood.
Is that the best horror movie ever made?
I can respect it because it was so early into, because of course it created the slasher genre, and all that. Well, that and Black Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite horror movie ever made, but I can see I'll give it the respect it deserves.
Yeah, I think it's got to be.
It's got to be up there in the top. Is it my favorite? No.
Yeah.
But does it deserve to be up there in the top horror movies of all time? Yes.
No, for sure. For sure. And Halloween 2 was fire, bro.
Yeah, and I love Halloween 2. And you can watch, and I actually have a cut of it on Blu-ray.
Is that one you told me to get?
Yeah, yeah, I told you to get. It's a mashup of Halloween and Halloween 2, a seamless cut of it.
So it's just you can watch it all the way through?
And watch it all the way.
That's
you
fire.
can watch those as just one long movie, and it adds in some deleted scenes from Halloween 2 that aren't in the original cut, in the
I gotta watch
theoretical
that this year. When we
cut.
go back, because we usually rewatch the Halloween movies every year.
Oh, yeah.
And me, him, and Jordan will watch them like on Hangouts and stuff. But a few years back, we did like a franchise review on the Triple Flicks Mafia page. Yep. But we'll have to revisit that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Probably we'll wait till Halloween time.
We're gonna convert Chad over to becoming a fan of the zombie Halloween movies eventually.
I love Halloween 1. The zombie Halloween 1 I love, bro. It's just H2 that y'all are dead set on trying to get me to like.
Well, you got to watch.
I watched the theoretical.
Yeah.
Theatrical. We know it's theatrical.
We know it's theoretical. We say
because it's a
theoretical.
thing. Just get it. We know it's theatrical.
Part of us.
Yeah.
It's habit now.
Yeah.
But the same Halloween 1 and 2 cut that I have, I also have a zombie.
Okay, I'll give it a watch. And I will say the theatrical version is way better.
It is,
H2,
but it
bro,
misses.
like
we'll have to get into that. We'll have to get into that
soundtrack.
That's that. Yeah, but Halloween 2, marvelous. Those two as sequels coming in.
I feel like it was right to. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Coming in 1981.
Just masterful sequels in my mind.
I think it is only right to start with those two because I feel like in this year, those are two of the best horror films from this year.
Oh yeah.
And so then, it makes sense. Plus, with them being sequels, you can kind of group them together.
And then you could just tie in what American Werewolf in London is another one from that's considered a classic from 1981
for sure
in the werewolf genre and the horror genre in general.
Yeah.
That transformation scene is
it's great practical effects, bro.
Will be never duplicated. I mean, that's what amazes me now with the technology and everything. Now it's 2023, and in 1981, they're doing better practical effects than they are now.
Oh, for sure.
It's mind blowing to me. What was that? John Landis that directed that one, but. It's right there with that horror. It's got a lot of comedy parts in that one.
It does. Going back and watching it definitely does, which was not a bad thing necessarily. But it's got the practical effects in that one's really dope, and just for that time frame because there's two big werewolf films that came out the same year.
Yeah.
That one and The Howling, which I think both of them are really dope. I didn't rewatch The Howling again before this episode, but I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah, I've seen it multiple times.
I think it's really dope.
It's great, but at first I was more of a Howling guy more than American Werewolf in London, and it's changed in my mind now. I think I like Werewolf in London a little bit more than The Howling nowadays.
What do you think it is that makes you change your mind?
You just get more of the werewolf. I think you get.
You do get more werewolf in the
you get more. It's faster paced in my opinion. The Howling more that way. It has some drag moments in it. It has your girl Dee Wallace in there.
Dee Wallace, legend in the horror genre. For sure. She seems really cool too. Have we ever met her?
We came across her that one time. Remember we saw her next to Sid Haig when I met Sid Haig that one day.
R.I.P. Sid Haig.
Yeah, legend right there.
Captain Spaulding.
He was awesome. But yeah, American Werewolf in London. A lot of kills in American Werewolf in London. I looked it up. I think 27 kills is what I have wrote down.
Shout out Eddie George. Eddie George's number.
Yeah. But I think most of those came from like the
that one scene.
The one scene in the porn where they're all watching the porn and everything.
All jagging off.
Yeah, who goes to a movie theater to watch? I guess that's
Dude, it was it was a thing back then. Isn't that what Pee Wee did?
Yeah, that's what Pee Wee Herman got busted back in the day.
He got busted.
Yeah.
Shout out Pee Wee Herman, not for that, but just actually, I retract my Pee Wee Herman shout out if that's possible.
Yeah. On that,
I think we should retract it. I used to watch Pee Wee. We're talking about something else, Chad.
We talked about Pee Wee last episode, so that's why he's still on.
Yeah, and it's just
this
me.
Is getting bad.
No, it's great. This is great. This is stellar content.
But The Howling. You're a fan of The Howling,
of course. Yeah. I would say I think the transformation scenes and stuff in American Werewolf are better.
Yes.
I do think parts of The Howling though are creepier.
Yeah.
But they're both really good though.
Especially like the shadow scenes with the wolves and everything in The Howling. And the way the wolves look is super creepy in The Howling. So they're both great regardless. They're both up there on the list of
they're on at the top of like the werewolf
subgenre of horror.
That genre of horror movies. Yeah. And then there was keeping on something like we were talking about them. There's another one. There was 2 movies that released from this year, both like birthday related horror movies. Happy Birthday to Me. Did you see that one?
Yeah, Happy Birthday to Me.
And Bloody Birthday.
Bloody Birthday is the one with the kids, right?
Yeah.
And Happy Birthday to Me.
It was just
it's just too long.
Yeah, it was way too long for a horror movie.
Yeah, for a slasher, for being a slasher, it's just too long. And I think
especially in the 80s though, like
it
now
wasn't
you can do
paced
it.
very good.
Yeah,
especially
it felt longer than it was.
Most of the movies in this time were right hour 20 minutes to hour 30.
It was close to 2 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's just not many kills in it.
No.
But it just wasn't paced very well. Bloody Birthday, I've only seen it once. I don't recall.
It's cool. I mean, it's just about it was in that time frame. In the 80s, there were several movies where it was like killer kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was
themes.
And the theme. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Bloody Birthday is not on my list of 1981 films. Horror films.
Snuck one in on you.
Yeah, you did, definitely. The other one.
Let me double check my.
The other one is, but not that one.
Happy Birthday to Me. That's the one. The poster always stuck out to me on Happy Birthday to Me because it was the one with the shish kebab going into the dude's mouth.
Shout out to shish kebab.
Yeah,
is that what you call it, a shish kebab, or would you call it a skewer?
No, it was a skewer. It's Bloody Birthday says April 28th, 81, but everywhere else it was like after that.
Okay, so it's probably one of those that had. It was probably released foreignly before we got it in the U.S.
Shout out to foreignly.
Boom. Shout out to executive
producer
producer
a
back
word?
there in the back.
I think it is. Over under that foreignly is a word. We're gonna look. We'll put it in the in the After Effects.
It's not a word.
Called.
I'm gonna take the under on that.
You're gonna take the under.
One classic that would be from '81.
Yeah,
has your boy in it. The Burning.
Oh, The Burning. My boy Jason Alexander, George Costanza.
Yeah, came out May 8th. Perfect little camp. Perfect timing for that going into summertime.
Dude,
a camp style.
Everybody talks about it. It's a ripoff of Friday the 13th. Okay, maybe. I fucking love The Burning. Though. That's probably my favorite. Besides Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Like it's Halloween 2, Friday the 13th. This and one other one that we'll talk about would probably be my 4 favorites.
Yeah, I love The Burning.
The Burning's a great slasher movie. Man.
Yeah, Cropsy is a great. Original
what do you call
slasher.
Those things?
Shears?
Okay,
would they be called shears? Or shears or
the big old scissor looking things.
Yeah, big old scissor looking things. Roy Burns uses them in Friday 13th Part 5.
Shout out to Roy Burns, for sure. Shout out to Mr. Burns from The Simpsons as well.
But I'd call those lawn shears, maybe? I don't know. A deadly weapon. We'll call them that.
We'll call them a deadly weapon.
But yeah, the raft scene in that one stands out to everybody. Tom Savini did the practical effects for that movie.
He's super
He's a
cool.
legend.
Yeah, he's
super
cool.
Nice guy.
The few times that we've been to conventions, a lot of them, I ran it about John Cusack in one of these episodes.
Yeah.
He's that style of like somebody that goes to those.
Yes.
Then you have somebody like Tom Savini who's
nice to every single person.
Everybody, whether you're paying him, because some people won't talk to you unless you pay them.
Yeah.
Like unless you're paying for an autograph or something.
We've come across him multiple times, and if you're walking by his table, he'll say hi to. He's just
he's the most known person at these things.
Yeah, super friendly guy.
But yeah, shout out Tom Savini.
Shears is correct. by the way.
Shears is correct.
My man.
Hey, survey says, show me potato salad. Okay.
No, coming from the guy that knows the useless knowledge.
Hell yeah. Hell
But yes,
yeah.
the Burning classic, the practical effects, Cropsey, the look of Cropsey was awesome because it was original look to him.
Yeah, for sure. No, the Burning's great, dude. And I guess we can kind of move over because this is another dope ass slasher. Probably I'd say my fourth favorite in this year, My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, yes.
Great one.
The
Great
uncut version of it,
Which
though.
it took so long for us to finally figure out how to see that one.
Yeah, because it was originally like it got so cut up by the MPAA for the ratings and everything. It'd lead up to everything, but it wouldn't
Never
show
showed
the kills.
nothing, bro. And that's how we saw it, like, the first 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, it was the cut version. It was just like, man, we always heard about the uncut version.
Yeah. And they finally...
Which it had a DVD and a Blu-ray, but they was super out of print, super expensive.
Expensive as
for 'em.
shit, dude. You couldn't find it, like, on the internet or nothing, but they finally came out with
Screen Factory put it out.
the uncut
finally.
version, and it's so much better.
Oh, my God. It's a classic.
Because why would you watch it? It's the same thing. This is a brief tangent I'll get on, but, like, same thing with, like, in the Texas Chainsaw series, like, with Leatherface.
Yeah.
Same way. They're like, oh, it's the unrated version. You still doesn't even show nothing in that.
Yeah.
But that, like, with slasher movies, if you're watching them for the payoff of the kill. You know what I mean?
You're wanting the kills and everything. And Harry Warden is a slasher icon for only being in one movie.
For sure.
In my opinion.
Yeah. My Bloody Valentine's great, bro.
The pickaxe is a great slasher weapon to use. It's got great kills in it. The heart in the chocolate box was a good little practical effect of the woman in the dryer.
Yeah.
Because I remember in the uncut version, they just open up the dryer and you just get the reactions to it. Yeah. In the uncut version, you get the body falls out of the dryer and you see the madness of it and everything.
Shout out to murdering people in dryers too. I mean, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty good thinking kills right there.
For sure. How many kills was in that one? You got that?
It had 12 kills in that one.
12? That's pretty good for the 80s, man.
Yeah.
Now, granted, like you have the American Werewolf where it's like a mass situation.
Yeah.
But like Friday the 13th Part 2, would have 9?
Yeah, it had 9. I think Halloween 2, I have it somewhere. Halloween 2 had 10 kills in it.
And see, like nowadays, it's more or less they use like quantity over quality in the sense of like there'll be a movie that you'll watch and there'll be 10 kills in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
But it's like that was a good way, like especially
but
80s
also
movies.
on the other side of that is there's been so many kills that's been used before. It's coming up with new creative ways to do it.
That's why I think that's why that they're remaking and rebooting and repoop shooting everything.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, this is cool. Let's redo this.
The 80s were just so quick to thinking. It's like, oh, we can kill a person this way.
Yeah, it's like Blumhouse. That's a whole other rant that I would get on, but that's what they're doing. They're taking all the dope movies from the 80s and they're remaking them and like making everything woke.
And
it's just
them up.
And like PG-13 in them, and it's just watering them down, bro.
If you're gonna remake a classic goat, you gotta go the R. You gotta go.
The only time,
you gotta go the R route with it because that's the only way you can give it justification.
I had to pause that for a second.
Yeah,
that could have got sketchy. But yeah, shout out to My Bloody Valentine, man. What's another one?
The Funhouse.
Great one. I just rewatched Funhouse.
Toby Hooper.
Toby Hooper, who brought you Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep.
Funhouse is great, dude. It's a great horror movie, especially for that. You know, it's a Funhouse, so it takes place at a carnival.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it.
It's like super creepy.
Yeah,
you get all like the aspects of the carnival that was really popular back then, and all the creepy characters from that. And
a little fun fact on that one: they came out the same day as The Howling.
Both of them came out the same day.
Yeah.
I wonder if either one of them got like a big theatrical release as far as like across the nation. Like
the theatrical poster for the Funhouse is terrifying.
Oh, dude, yeah,
is
for
it
sure.
the one with the clown coming out of the Jack in the Box?
No, it's just like a jacked up mouth.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's the killer, the killer in it and everything. But there's also one that came out with like a clown coming like out of a Jack in the Box. That was super creepy one.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah,
and
Funhouse is a good one.
You know, when Scream Factory first started releasing all those special edition Blu-rays back whenever we first found out what Scream Factory was, and
that was one of the
OGs,
wasn't it?
That's one of the first ones they put out, bro. And it's always been one of my favorite releases from Scream Factory, just because that movie's great for the time. You know,
I may make some people upset with this one though, but I like the Funhouse more than the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
See, Tony. Okay,
Yeah. I'll say it.
Okay,
I'll say it right here now,
and I'll say that you are incorrect. No, I'm just playing. That's your opinion.
That's another one that we'll get into that one
if me and Tony do Texas Chainsaw franchise, it's gonna get
heated,
ugly in here.
I will be the referee.
It's getting ugly in here.
Yeah, it's. But yeah, I will say that I enjoy the Funhouse more. It's one that I would rather watch than Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Let's move on to something else.
Anyways. Now, what about we have some zombie ones in there too, like The Beyond, which I don't think you've ever.
I didn't get to see The Beyond, but you saw that one.
I've seen that one before. It's from our boy Lucio Fulci.
Lucio Fulci.
It's right there in that Italian horror.
Good at Italian.
With
I like eating Italian food too.
They got the dubbings, not the best in the world.
No, not at all.
A chick takes. It's an Italian movie, but a chick takes over a hotel in Louisiana, and she's remodeling the place, and come to find out that the hotel is located over the top of the gates of hell.
Well, you don't say.
Yeah, and then all hell breaks loose.
I was going to say hilarity ensued.
Yeah,
after that.
but with those Italian movies, you get the great practical effects that they're known for. Because that's one thing.
They were good at that. A lot of the other stuff, and the scores were cool.
The scores were cool and everything, and the practical
the acting
effects
is sketchy.
And I think it's more the dubbing. More than anything.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
And right there, another one that you could fit in right there is Burial Ground.
With the man-child, yeah.
With the man-child. And you said you've never seen Burial Ground.
I've seen clips. I can't find it anywhere.
It's hard to find.
Watch,
I guess
I can't bring myself to spend $25
I forget
on
who released it, but I bought it.
You've talked about it for years, though.
Yeah, I bought it. It was one of the conventions we went to. I bought it at from one of those tables.
Yeah.
I watched it. It is an event in itself. It's one of those, it's so bad but enjoyable to watch just for the man-child. And if you've seen this movie, Chad will add the little picture down here of this. We'll call it a little person. And
you have to call it a little person. I don't want to call it that, but you have to say that.
Yes. But he is supposed to be playing a child right there in the 11, 12-year-old range and looks nothing like a child.
No.
And he still...
Because he's not one.
Let's say he still has the acts of a young baby. He sucks on his mother's tit. We'll just say it.
Atta boy.
And as a grown child, he still and then bites it off eventually. So yeah, that one. The synopsis pretty much: a guy finds
that's all you need to hear.
An ancient artifact underneath his house, kind of like The Beyond, and then releases zombies out into the world and kills everybody. But it's one of those Italian horror. The dubbing's not great. Score's great. The practical effects are great because the man-child does something to his mom. He tries to breastfeed again and then bites it off. I mean, practical effects at its best.
Yeah, biting off titties, man. Let's go. Burial Ground, shout out. Here's what I want to speak about briefly.
Talk to me.
And it's not even, I love this movie, and it's from 81, but it's not considered a horror movie, I don't guess. But Escape from New York was
another Carpenter classic.
Was a John Carpenter banger. Uncle Kurt Russell's in it. Love the movie. I just wanted to speak on it briefly because Scream Factory put it out, so it kind of lumps it in like the sci-fi action thriller.
Well, I guess you could put that little Big Trouble in Little China. It has horror feel aspects to it, just like Escape from New York. Yeah. But Escape from New York. I love that movie.
I just wanted to speak on it briefly just because it's from 81.
It's a banger from 81.
And it's Carpenter.
And Carpenter's action movies were pretty decent back in the day, too.
Yeah, we can talk about the two. Well, I can talk about one, and you can talk about the other one, the TV horror movies.
Okay.
Made-for-TV horror movies. You had Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, which I am a fan of. I know you said you're not a big fan of it, and I get it just because with it being a TV made-for-TV movie.
It's a great time. It gets the feels of it's a great movie to watch in the fall, especially around Halloween. Mm-hmm. It gets all those feels, right? But it's just first time I watched it was all right. The second time I just didn't.
Well, and it's another thing. So and see, my buddy Skeggs. My buddy Skeggs is the one that told me about it because he grew up watching it.
Yes, it's TV. One I didn't watch.
I didn't either. So I do like it.
And see, like Silver Bullet's on that range for me. I didn't grow up watching Silver Bullet.
That's another one of my favorite, like in my top werewolf movies.
Yeah,
but I get you didn't.
I didn't grow up on that one, and watching it later,
And you got Corey Haim in there, dog.
Yeah, I didn't get. I didn't have the appreciation for it. So,
but salute to. I do enjoy that movie still, and you got Larry Drake in there.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
And then another one for Night School is one that's right there.
Which the running joke with us, we watched that one time, but we watched a lot of movies in our whole 7-year.
And that one line sticks out, and we still say it to this day.
What was the line?
I love you. I gotta go, but I gotta go.
That's what he does. They're at dinner.
The chick goes up to, she's expressing her love to him. She's like, "I love you," and he says, "I gotta go." And he just walks off and goes.
Just completely leaves her on red. Basically.
The music's cool in that one. It's made
I
for
just
TV.
remember it being slow.
And you didn't get any payoff from it.
No,
you
didn't.
You got everything leading up to the kill and then cut. You'll just cut it off and everything. So yeah, I'd put that one. Both of those are meh to me.
Well, for TV horror movie, like I said, I don't remember a lot about Night School other than here and there, but that one part obviously. But like
that part sticks.
I just remember it being slower and there not being. I mean, with
and the leather jacket that the killer wears
definitely had a leather jacket, a yellow one.
A yellow leather jacket.
Yeah,
it wasn't yellow.
It wasn't yellow. I was just trying to say. What was I trying to say? Leather with an L.
You mentioned 2 television film movies, and then you spoke on Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. What was the other one?
Night School.
Night School. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Night School.
I'm listed one more.
Okay.
The Intruder Within.
That is one that I've heard of that one.
I've seen The Intruder, but I haven't seen The Intruder.
Yeah, I've heard of that one, but I have not seen that one.
And This House Possessed, both television films from 81.
Never heard of that. This House Possessed. Never heard of that one.
It's not even on my list.
Listen, Squint's coming in with the heat.
With the heat, throwing heaters, dude. We'll have to, like I said, 1981 is probably going to have to get revisited down the road.
Yeah.
Because there's so many that we're not.
Well, there's one that I've never seen that's on a lot of people's list, and it's called The Possession.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
And that's on a lot of people's top 10 list that from 81, but it's one that I've never seen. And another one up there on the top is The Evil Dead.
I was just fixing to say Bruce Campbell classic there. My Evil Dead, so I really like Evil Dead 2, which is basically Evil Dead.
Yeah,
but it's just ramped up.
Yes.
Army of Darkness, it's okay.
Yeah.
But and then the remake, I think,
remake's
a banger. I don't know, but this new one, I'm kind of on the fence about the new one. It looks creepy though. I'm going to go see it. But Evil Dead is definitely a classic. I don't go back and put Evil Dead 1 on. I'll just watch Evil Dead 2.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What I like about Evil Dead, it's the seclusion of it out there in the middle of the woods.
And you get Bruce Campbell, bro.
Bruce Campbell's on it, and it's one of those. It mixes in the comedy with it.
Super cheesy,
but the practical effects, up there, top notch practical effects in that one as well. Here's something,
Squints. You can check for me. See if you can check what the budget was for Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, I want to say.
You can check it on IMDb.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I bet it's not much, bro.
Nothing at all.
The effects that they used was they didn't have a lot of money.
That one probably out of all
the biggest cult following. Probably.
Yeah, out of all the 81, even behind, I think it has a bigger cult following than Halloween 2, Friday the 13th.
I think you could say Evil Dead has one of the biggest cult followings in horror.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If you just said what horror franchise or whatever has you could say Evil Dead has one of the biggest followings.
Yeah. And with the least amount of movies to the franchise.
Yeah, it was 5.
Well, not even counting the newest ones. You have Evil Dead 2. Just counting Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness.
Just 3, yeah.
Just those 3, probably the biggest cult following for. Because you look at Halloween has how many a shit ton of movies.
I mean, before the zombie ones, it was at 10.
Yeah.
Now, what was your question, Chad? What was the budget?
Just say. Did it say what the budget was?
$375,000, and it's currently grossed to date $29.4 million.
Yeah. So I'm saying $400,000 was the budget, bro.
Yeah.
And back then in 81, you know what I mean? The budgets wasn't like they are now, but they were way more than $300,000 or $400,000.
Yeah.
But they made. You heard what they made off of. That's just off of the ticket sales.
And I'm sure the majority of that budget was on, of course, the actors and everything, but the practical effects.
And the tree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That situation. But shout out Evil Dead, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the new one, though.
What's interesting to me from this side of the table, fact checking some of this stuff, is that 4 out of 5 top 10 lists that I find from 81 horror
has Evil Dead.
Evil Dead is number
for
one.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And
And the only other one is American Werewolf in London, which is number 2. But on that one other list, it's number 1, and the Evil Dead's number 2.
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm saying. The
that
cult
following
following
Evil Dead,
behind Evil Dead is just.
and it's more. I almost think it's more the cult following for Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
But Bruce Campbell and Evil Dead, that's where
They're hand in hand.
They're hand in
with
hand,
each-
so that's
with
why that
each
makes
other,
sense.
But yeah,
but he's huge, like at these conventions.
Oh
I don't
my
know if
gosh, and I've heard nothing but great things about Bruce Campbell as well.
and he's had some dope ones. I mean, he's got the show
Yeah,
Ash versus Evil Dead. Like
he's
I
in
haven't-
Maniac Cop,
He's definitely a Maniac Cop 1.
which Maniac Cop
Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep. He's
Yeah.
in Intruder.
He is in Intruder. That's
just a
great
brief
horror movie. That's a great slasher movie,
Just a
dude.
brief little appearance right there in Intruder.
The Intruder, great, just great because the entire movie takes place in a grocery store.
Yeah, great kills too in that.
Yeah,
one.
and like what is I think it was probably 87 or 88.
Yeah, it was late '80s, but
Salute to that one.
Maniac Cop.
Yeah.
One of the best paced horror movies ever. in my
Like you can
opinion.
almost time it. There's a kill like whatever. What do we tell? Like every 10 minutes, it's like boom.
even
boom.
quicker than that. I
It's
think
quicker than
it's just so well paced for a horror movie. Now, granted, is it the great movie? No, but as a horror movie, it's fantastic because you're getting the results you want as a horror fan.
Yeah. Salute to Bruce Campbell and the Evil Dead. Of course, we had to speak on that one.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, another one that doesn't have much of a story behind it, but The Prowler.
I just rewatched the Prowler in this last couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
set
too.
on a college campus.
Yeah. It's pretty. It was a pretty solid one too.
Yeah, that much of a story. It's just a slasher.
It's just a slasher.
Yeah.
And you lump that in with like a mindless slasher.
Yeah.
One of the most mindless slashers there are is Final Exam.
Yeah, same from the same
Final
year.
Exam literally is a movie that starts out at a college campus and a guy's going around killing people and there's no explanation.
Yeah, pretty much just like the Prowler. It's
the same-
the Prowler.
same
and Final
year, too.
Exam. Yeah,
Yeah.
same year. They just
I like Final Exam better.
yeah. Well, I like the look of the killer in the Prowler. He looks like almost like a
He's like a war vet.
yeah, but he looks like one of the old school army men, green
Yeah,
men,
like
the
Army men,
toys,
yeah.
army men. And
Shout out to
everything.
Army
had,
men.
Had his fatigues and he used the pitchfork.
And shout out to Pitchfork.
Yeah,
Well,
not
we
many
shout out
killers
Pitchfork.
use
We can,
pitchfork.
fuck it. Yeah. No, pitchforks are underrated for murder weapons, I guess. What else do we got, Tony?
Don't go into another woodsy one. Don't go into the woods alone. That was I liked that one better than what was it, Just Before Dawn. Mm-hmm. I like Don't Go in the Woods Alone better.
I like Just Before Dawn better, but I like them both like about the same. I guess I would say Just Before Dawn.
They're right there on the cheesy.
Yeah, super cheesy, low budget, like slasher movies.
The van scene in Don't Go into the Woods Alone is worth it. Just watching that movie is watch. Oh, what am I trying to say?
Get it out.
The van scene makes that movie worth watching.
Hell
That's
yeah,
what I
there
was
we
trying
go.
to say.
Go next door, dude. You ain't got to go around the block.
Yeah.
I feel you. I do that all the time.
But yeah, that one's a mindless one. It's a fun watch. Vinegar put it out. I picked it up. It's right there with slashers to keep in the collection.
What about Graduation Day?
That one's rough.
one.
I'm not a big Trauma fan,
I'm not either.
and so that one's
Which we're gonna get hate in the comments, and I don't care. But Trauma, I just have to.
Yeah.
We love bad horror movies.
Yeah.
Clearly, I just can't catch that Trauma wave. I've
Yeah,
never
I
been
can't-
not with Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, I've never been a big
none of the Trauma stuff. It's just too something about it, bro. I just can't. I don't know.
yeah. I'm the same way. It's just never caught on with me. What's his name? Lloyd Kaufman with
Yeah.
Trauma and everything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
What is that Trauma? I don't even know what that is.
It's
They're-
just a company, like
yeah,
a
they're-
style of horror movies.
yeah. They're Lloyd Kaufman owns the company. It's I believe they're a distributing company.
Yeah.
They put out their own movies and all that stuff.
But it's just a style of horror
yeah.
that's like when you watch it, if you're a horror fan and you watch it, you're like, this feels like it's a Trauma movie.
You ever heard of the Toxic Avenger?
Remember that back in the day?
Okay,
That's Trauma.
Yeah, that's a Trauma.
That's
brand.
what got it. Like that
Yeah,
was
that's-
the big thing from Trauma. Another one that I like, okay, and it's got one of the craziest transformation scenes ever, is The Beast Within.
I wasn't a fan of that one.
Well, the movie itself, not really, but
Yeah.
that transformation scene, it's like a 4-minute transformation scene.
It's insane. But I picked it up when from Scream Factory and everything. Watched that when I was like, yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting.
Dude, there's one line in this movie that me and Skeggs always make fun of to this day. And he says something about, I like my meat rare. That's what one of the characters say. I was like, what is happening? I mean, it's we've exaggerated it from
Southern plantation
Southern
owner.
Baptist preacher that's fucking fixing to eat somebody.
I like my mate raw. That sounds like
I like my mate raw.
like they'd say out of Motel Hell or something.
Yeah, shout out Motel Hell, dude. That's a banger. But yeah, Beast Within. Yeah,
Deadly Blessing was one that came out from 81.
yes, big fan of Deadly Blessing. You get good old Michael Berryman in there.
Yep. Was that Wes Craven?
Yeah, Wes Craven for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, Wes Craven.
R.I.P. Wes Craven. You get Ernest Borgnine in that.
Okay.
You know who Ernest? You remember the basketball?
Okay.
The guy that chokes on the hot dog and dies. That's Ernest Borgnine.
Okay.
I hate that I used that to get you to know who Ernest Borgnine is, because he's been in so many probably better movies.
Yeah.
But I know him from Deadly Blessing and Basketball. That's Chad for you.
Shout out.
But Deadly Blessing's dope as shit,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah, creepy.
Yeah, and it's got one of those sleepaway camp style endings where you're like, wait a minute,
Wait a minute.
what just happened?
Wait a minute.
It was a, he was a, she was a, he was a. What's going on? Heebie-jeebies. But it was good, man. I've watched Deadly Blessing several times. I didn't have to rewatch that one for this because it's been on Scream, and hopefully it'll get a 4K from them.
I have a question right quick for the producer of this episode. Squints, have you ever seen Sleepaway Camp?
Negative.
No, he hasn't.
Oh my gosh. Do you know, have you ever heard of Sleepaway Camp?
Is it on this list I'm looking at?
No, it's not on this list.
It was a couple years later.
But it probably has one of the most shocking endings in horror movie history.
Yeah, it's scary as shit. Like the ending scene, we can tell you, we'll show you off camera. But
yeah, we'll have to show you off camera.
It's crazy.
You can't show the video right here, but yeah.
The cover of it looks so familiar, but then the second and third one looks even more familiar.
Yeah.
They were like super low budget horror movies that was very cheesy with over the top kills, and it was just people were at camp and there was somebody going in.
The ending of the first one has one of the most shocking endings ever in horror movie history.
For the time.
And I don't want to, since you know nothing about it, I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah, don't do that.
I don't think he's gonna watch it, but yeah.
I doubt he'll watch it.
Shout out Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
But yeah, Deadly Blessing's a great one, and that's early Wes Craven too.
Yep.
Which is always great. There was another one I wanted to say something to you about too.
Oh, hold on. We cannot forget about a masterpiece. One of the most awkward scenes in movie history for Madman.
You talking about the hot tub scene?
The hot tub scene.
Let's go, dude.
Madman Mars. Stalking people.
Bruh.
And the music to that, the theme to that movie is great.
Shout out Madman, dude. This is another one that me and Skeggs watched that Skeggs told me about. And when we were watching it in that hot tub scene, we were like, "Oh my god!"
And it just keeps going. It just don't stop. And the music
dude.
Such,
before y'all,
I thought it was Olivia Newton-John singing to us in the hot tub scene right there.
Dude, before y'all watched it, what did I tell y'all about the movie?
He's like, "You're gonna
wait
till the hot tub scene."
Yeah, wait till the hot tub scene. That's all I'm gonna say about this movie. It is ridiculous, but it's one of those that just stretches out.
It just keeps going. It's like, okay, are we gonna cut this yet?
No, and they didn't. They said we're gonna go for the gusto. Dude.
It had quite a few kills in that. It had 11 kills in that one. It was
Madman's dope, man. It was one that I watched the first time, and I just remember the hot tub scene, and and then I rewatched it when it got the release from Vinegar Syndrome, and then
now it's got a 4K.
It's gotten better, man. I enjoy that one.
I enjoy that one.
What about Dead and Buried?
Dead and Buried's good. That's a sneaky one too. Didn't watch that one until recently. I think when Blue Underground put it back out, re-released it on a special edition.
Yeah,
but yeah, that one I enjoyed that one a lot. It's got a different feel to that one.
No, it definitely does.
It's got 15 kills in that one. It's paced really well. I enjoyed Dead and Buried.
No, for sure.
I couldn't tell you anybody that acted in it, but it was a fun one.
No, for sure.
I can. James Ferrantino, Melody Anderson, and Jack Albertson.
Thank you.
Shout out to them.
Yes. Enjoyed that one.
Let's see what Melody Anderson's been in.
I don't know.
She's been in that and Flash Gordon.
Okay. What about Wolfen? Were you a fan of Wolfen?
She was also in Firewalker with Chuck Norris.
Oh, shout out!
That
Chuck
has
Norris.
Louis Gooden Jr. in that too.
Louis Gossett Jr.
Louis Gossett Jr. in that one as well, right?
Rabbit hole.
You Dikembe Mutombo while you were saying it. That has
I think
Louis
that
Gooding Jr., Louis Gossett Jr.
Louis Gossett Jr. I think that was one of the old Canon film days. That was probably under the Canon Films.
Yeah, probably. But
that's a whole
Dead
other
Buried's
episode.
a good one too, though.
That's a whole other
Canon
episode.
Films,
Canon film, a whole episode on Canon Films.
One of my favorites.
The Black Hole.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Tony.
That is a Canon film.
It is, Tony.
So
Over the Top. I believe Over the Top is Canon Films.
See what I'm saying? Come on, dude. run it.
So let me ask y'all, like
Yes.
after doing like multiple top 10s and that kind of stuff just based off internet feedback, y'all have named the majority of the bulk of the top 10s that I see, but there is a few that are pretty high on most of these lists that you guys haven't mentioned. So I wanted to mention
Pop
them
in
too.
some.
Yeah.
Possession.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
So that's the one that he was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
that
that's
we,
on
we
a
haven't
lot of
seen.
people's. That's a lot of people. Like
Gotcha.
top of the list.
Yeah, so you did mention that one. My
Yeah.
bad.
We gotta watch that one.
Scanners.
It's on this list to talk about. I think Scanners is mad overrated, dog.
I do too.
It's
I'm not-
boring. It's got a like the
most
one
famous
scene
kid- the most
that everybody
famous
sees with the
scene-
guy's head and stuff. I'm sorry.
That's it.
That's it for me. Like it, we watched that movie together on
Yeah.
a hangout when it first came out on Criterion Collection. Got like released it, and we were all like, "What's the? We don't understand
because
the
we always
about it."
heard that it was always at the top of people's lists.
Yeah.
and it just didn't. What's the main actor that's in that one? He's
Jennifer O'Neill and Stephen Lack.
Stephen Lack. Yeah,
Lack.
you'd know his face if you saw him and everything.
He's a
But
mark.
he's the one that makes the other guy's head explode.
Yeah.
The only other one that's on majority of these lists that y'all did not mention is toward the bottom, but it's called Wolfen.
Yeah, yeah.
So Wolf is the one he started to talk about, and I interrupted him like a dumbass.
It's under Howling and American Werewolf to me, but it's a fun one.
Yeah, so you got literally three werewolf movies
Yeah,
in 81. And like Evil Within is not like a werewolf movie, but it's like a transformation.
Yes,
it's like a bug, whatever that
whatever
thing is.
the bug.
But it's like that. You can kind of
That's
say
what I
four
was saying
movies
when I
from
was
that
going
year.
into that movie into the Beast Within.
Everybody, I said Evil Within, Beast Within. Yeah.
When I was going into the Beast Within, I was thinking full on werewolf movie.
Everybody did. Me too.
I was like, okay.
What is it? Is it?
But yeah,
Dude, then you had some really cheese fest. Did you ever see Frightmare?
I've never seen that one.
I remember seeing that one time. It was pretty rough. I thought that, did Vinegar Syndrome put that out?
I think so.
That may have been where I've seen it or somewhere.
Now, Squints, on your list, are you seeing a lot of people pull up like a movie called The Pit?
Yes, The Pit is on the list.
So that's
in
another
front of
one
me.
that I
that's one
watched.
I've never seen as well.
I watched, because Kino Lorber released it,
Yeah.
that company that released it. And I just remember thinking it was just okay. Like it was kind of slow.
Yeah.
It wasn't one that I watched and was like, oh, this is a keeper kind of shit. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't grow up
that's
watching
one I've
it.
never seen.
But that's another one that's on everybody's list from 81.
Y'all mentioned birthdays earlier and the two movies that were based off birthdays in 81. And there was actually another one from Australian filmmakers named Alison's Birthday.
That is on my list, yeah. And
I've never heard of that one.
It's on my list, but I didn't get to watch it. But I wrote it down from 81. But I watched Bloody Birthday and Happy Birthday to Me.
And then I think there's another bloody movie in the 81. What, Bloody Moon? I think.
Something
Yes.
like that. Bloody Moon, yeah.
Yes.
A lot of bloodiness going on in
A
81.
whole lot of blood. Then you got the classic Play Dead.
I've never seen that one.
Neither have I, but have you seen the premise? Watched the trailer?
That's
of
not
it?
on here. I don't see that.
Never heard of
I
it.
think it's
Have to
about
look
the
that up.
killer
Never.
dog.
There are some questionable titles on here. I was curious if you
Let's-
guys have seen any of these.
Let's pop one out too. Pop some out.
United States film and alternative title, it says, but it says Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker.
Yes. Real okay. I didn't realize
That
that's
was
81.
81.
Yeah, that's on here.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's okay. That one snuck in on us. Thank you, Squints, for that one.
There's one more, though, that stuck out to me that I had to ask y'all about. Hang on.
Oh boy.
Two more. The Loch Ness Horror,
Never heard of that one.
Never seen
right?
never heard
So
of it.
obviously we may picture what that could be about. But here's the one that got me. Chad, I'd love for you to look this cover up. Porno Holocaust.
Oh well, see
Okay,
those Holocaust ones I stay away from because they
Yeah,
like killing.
I've never
animals
heard.
and shit. I can't.
That's one that got away from me.
But
there
the
as well.
cover's questionable.
The look on your face is explaining it all to me right now.
Yeah. 81 Italian.
Now I think one I've seen pop up too is Absurd. I've never seen that one.
That's
from
another one
81.
that I listed. And I'm an idiot. Play Dead did not come out in 81. I don't know why I wrote that down. Sorry.
Scratch that.
Yeah, scratch Play Dead. That's why it's not on your list.
Okay,
Quince, 'cause
so
it's not
you
from
mentioned
81.
Absurd.
Yes.
Porno Holocaust was also directed by Joe Diem, whatever.
Okay, so I can imagine Absurd is probably right there on Porno Holocaust. level.
Gotcha.
So I'll
Okay.
probably skip that one.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we I stay away because like one of the most talked about horror movies that I've still not seen and won't watch is a movie called Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, I have no.
And it's
interest
just
in that.
they like legit killed real animals in that movie back in the day. Like I won't watch it.
Like I'm not big on like that's
Those kind of things because they get real R word, and I mean, not where somebody takes
Yeah.
another person's innocence. There's a lot of that happening in those movies.
That's
the R word I'm talking about, not the other one.
But
one of the funnest things to do is look at all the female actors in all these movies, bro. Because I'm like, I could easily just like hover over their names and it pops up their photograph.
Yeah.
Some of them age
Yeah, the
well.
cannibal movies, that's the subgenre that I've never gotten into in the horror movies. Like another one that comes up on, I've seen the Boogans and the Conflict. I've never
Yes,
seen
the Boogans is on here definitely.
I've never seen the Boogans.
There's one that I did think was okay, and it's like a horror sci-fi, Inseminoid.
Inseminoid's on here
I
as
did
well.
watch that one.
I've never
It's
seen
a
that one.
weird, like, it's from 81, obviously, but it's a weird, like, sci-fi horror. Scream Factory put out like a
Okay.
a
I've
special
seen
edition.
Demonoid. I haven't seen Inseminoid.
Inseminoid originated in the United Kingdom. So
Yeah, it was UK, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of...
Piranha 2,
Yeah.
super cheese fest.
Hey, fun fact on that one. Squints. You know who the director is?
Oh, yeah, dude. This
James
is
Cameron.
Yeah.
Boom.
Titanic, James Cameron directed Piranha 2, bro.
Yeah. Avatar, James Cameron.
Avatar, James Cameron.
shout out to the internet for making me feel smart just then. It's literally just right in front of me.
Dang, I thought I had him for a second.
No,
Right here.
And I think he completely disowns that movie.
I'm sure he does, bro,
but
because
yeah.
he's too good for it. Just like Michael J. Fox doesn't want to acknowledge Teen Wolf. I always relate everything to Teen
Chad's always got to
Everything
bring
comes
it
back
back.
to Teen
So
Wolf.
Teen Wolf
Always.
obsessed.
Everything comes back to Teen
I
Wolf.
won't let it go that Michael J.
How
Fox.
many
movie.
1981 horror movies was Chubbs in?
Oh, dude, that's a good point. By the way, dude,
Oh, gosh.
I was another movie that Mark Holton was in that we talked about last episode that I didn't even bring up was Little Giants, bro.
Are you
He was the dad of the big kid in Little Giants.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Me and Mel just rewatched Little Giants the other night.
Wow.
Shout out to Chubbs, bro.
It all comes back to Chubbs. And
It all comes back to
back
Chubbs.
to Teen Wolf.
It always does. There's 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
There was another one that I from 81 that I tried to like multiple times, and it's so boring, dog. Ghost Story. You ever watched it?
Yeah. Is it anthology? Isn't it? No, I'm thinking
No,
of
it's
something else.
so Ghost Story's the one. The cover of it on Scream Factory is just like it just says Ghost Story.
Okay, yeah. I'm thinking of a different
It's
one. then.
it's super slow.
I've never seen that one then.
Let's see what else we got. There was some other ones that I didn't get a chance to watch, but again, if we want to double back,
yeah, we can.
double back available now. If we want to double back,
Get that single.
and rewatch some of these that we didn't get to see or something, or dive in more. Tell me what y'all thought of those diving pictures that I put in.
Those are great. I love just.
I love
random
watching those,
dive
especially
right
the ones
into
when the dudes like mess up their dives and stuff. Because I clearly can dive.
Have y'all ever seen one called Strange Behavior?
No, it was on my list, but
I've never heard of that one.
there was so many that I didn't get to, bro. There was that one. Here's one that you've seen. I don't think I've seen. Have you seen Venom?
I've not seen
From
that one. I
81?
think that was Jordan.
Jordan saw it? Okay.
Jordan saw that one.
So
and,
that
and one called the Monster Club. Sorry, didn't mean to-
Monster Club's on my list too. Yep.
I've never, not to be mistaken with Monster Squad.
Which is one of the greatest movies ever.
And then
here's one. Here's one. Jamie Lee Curtis, Road Games.
I wasn't a fan of that one.
I was super excited when it got released
Yeah.
from Scream Factory. I had never seen it. I was like, man, this Jamie Lee Curtis is 1981. It's gonna be dope because she
Yeah.
was making so many bangers back then. But it was just kind of blah.
Yeah. Now, Prom Night, that was 80, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or Prom Night was
And
80.
I think Fog 80.
It may have been.
She did 2 the same year, or 2 or 3, and she did Terror Train, Fog, and Prom Night. I want to say all in the same year, bro.
Yeah. Because you had Halloween in 78.
I mean, you can look at Luke, you can look that up, but like Jamie Lee Curtis in 1980, I'm pretty sure she did Terror Train, Fog, and Prom Night all in the same
That's
year.
crazy.
So I just found the Funhouse alternative cover you were talking about
Yeah.
with the guy jumping out of the Jack in the Box. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says "Pay to get in, pray to get out."
Bam.
Hell
And
yeah.
I hate clowns. There's no
Dude,
way.
and that's one thing. Somebody suggested this in the comments too.
Yeah.
Of back in the day, especially as horror fans, when you went to Blockbuster, movie gallery, anything like that, is the cover arts for all these
It was
movies
the
and
best,
everything.
man.
Because that's how I found out about a bunch of movies as kids. Is just solely off the cover arts of these.
No,
and
for
like you
sure.
said, like the Funhouse one right there, greatness, and then all the cover arts of these movies that we talked about is just. You have the iconic American Werewolf in London, which is the thumbnail to this great episode.
Oh yeah.
Shout out
Classic.
to Jordan for doing the thumbnails
Oh, dude, yeah.
for us. And
Yeah, he
everything.
did- he
He's
did
the
the
master
thumbnail.
of PixArt.
He found out how to put. He's like, dude, y'all pose this way.
Yeah. Chad,
You'll
look
see
at the camera.
thumbnail, and I take forever. It's not letting me. IMDb's not letting me look up Jamie Lee Curtis's filmography, but I'm almost positive she put out all 3 of those movies in the same year.
Just heaters.
Yeah,
I mean, and now. I guess she's coming now that with the new Halloween movies, she's coming to appreciation for her horror fans and everything. But there for a while, she just like crossed off like all horror stuff.
Yeah, probably because she gets a stigma put on her.
Yeah.
You can only do like final girl like roles or whatever.
But that's what's out of all the genres of movies, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think horror has the most solid base of it because you don't see action movie conventions.
No,
around
they're
country.
they're always like certain actors are at the horror conventions.
Yeah, you don't see
those movies.
What was your question about the 3 in 81 for
Jamie Lee Curtis in 1980?
Road Games, Escape from New York. She's in the Army now. Halloween 2.
Go to 80.
Death of Centerfold. 80.
Yeah,
Terror
80.
Train, Prom Night, The Fog.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
She released all 3 of those in the same year, bro.
That
And
is
they're all
crazy.
They are all fire. Like Prom Night's my least of those, but Terror Train is fucking dope. Dude.
Creepy.
It's literally it's just the whole movie takes place on a train. And fucking fun fact, David Copperfield's in that movie, dude.
Shout out David Copperfield.
Yes.
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 So that
Magician
movie,
Man.
that movie, and The Fog is one of the greatest horror movies ever made.
One of the
bro.
greatest scores.
One of the greatest scores
all-
ever. Super creepy ass movie, dude. John Carpenter is the GOAT.
Which will be another episode.
Yeah,
down
John
the line, too.
Carpenter movies, bro. He's my favorite director for horror, like without a doubt.
Yeah.
But did you ever see old Saturday the 14th?
I never saw Saturday the 14th. I've heard it's
It's close to your name, dude.
Yeah, very close. Very close, but it's one I've never seen. It's like a spoof.
It's like a spoof movie.
Yeah,
It came
like-
out in 81. That's why I said that.
and
It
like
came out this year.
and it does have like knockoff Universal monsters and
I
stuff
think
in
so,
it.
yeah. I had never seen it.
But no, I've never seen that one. I've had that mentioned multiple times though.
Another one that I watched that was just okay, Arrow put it out, Madhouse.
Yeah,
It was okay. It wasn't. I was
Nothing
thinking
wrong about
it looked a lot cooler than they actually ended up being.
It's one of those cover art ones that
Yeah, the cover art sells you, and you're like,
the
the poster sells you.
Yeah.
Here's one that I enjoy somewhat. Tony does not like it. Hell Night.
Oh God, that movie's terrible.
It's not a good movie. One thing about that movie, the main girl in the Australian girl in it, the blonde girl, that they act like they tease that she's gonna get naked. She's gonna get naked. She never did. No, if you watch the behind the scenes of that movie, they talk about how it was a whole ordeal about she refused to do it.
Ain't Linda Blair in that one too?
Yeah, she's in it too.
Yeah.
Linda Blair, obviously one of the goats in as far on the female side with the horror genre with Jamie Lee Curtis. But yeah, it's not. I don't hate it like you do, but it's just okay.
I don't. Yeah, it's just it's just meh.
It's just The Hand. Did you ever see that?
Never saw that one. I've heard of it. Never seen that one.
That's one that I've again like if y'all wanted us to come back, Student Bodies is one that everybody said was pretty.
Yep.
That I didn't get to see yet.
I've never seen that one. I've heard of that one, just never seen it. I've heard it's just like pretty much a school slasher.
Yeah.
Anything slasher, I'm game up to see if I've never seen it before, especially an '80s slasher.
Yeah.
I'm currently watching the trailer for Terror Train.
Oh, dude, yeah, Terror Train's fun, man.
Yeah,
it's fun like that. But yeah, man, overall, I think 1981. We'd have to go back and look at each year to see what came out. I know 87 seems like that was a really good year.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and look for movies in general, but like 81 in horror to me,
it's a staple.
Yeah,
but it really gets the slasher movement really rolling because most of the movies that we listed on here were slashers.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you had, like you said, Black Christmas, Halloween in '78, and then you had Friday 13th in '80, no, '79.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what kickstarted it though.
Yeah, and then it was just downhill from '81, and then it was just a plethora. Once again, bringing out the word plethora.
You bring up plethora every episode. We got to make it a point. You have to say plethora in some way, and I have to bring up Teen Wolf.
Okay, boom. We'll make it. But just the slashers from then, greatness.
Yeah, dude. So I had really fun. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with this episode. 1981 horror, man. I'm glad that we're able to talk some horror stuff because I know a lot of the people on Chatty Bobby 1130 channel are horror fans.
Yep.
And
hopefully we can convert some people that aren't horror fans
for sure
over
and
to
again,
give them a chance.
Like with even with us, I know with me, specifically, when I first started watching horror movies, it was like when I was younger, but like it was the very mainstream horror. Like when I started, like when I got grown and I started, it was just whatever the mainstream horror movies were. And then the more I watched, the more I got into like the subgenres. Yep. And now it's like my favorite kind of movie to watch. But it's definitely an acquired taste
the most
of a movie. You can't just put it on any time. Well, we're weird and we probably can. I can put on any of these movies and then fall asleep with no problem.
And it doesn't phase.
That makes me probably psychotic. But either way, 81 was a great year, man.
But like I said, it all comes around to, I think that horror has the biggest fan base out of any.
As far as loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as like jumping on board with something and supporting the shit out of it, horror fans for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, you take a guy like Kane Hodder, for general. I mean, he puts out movies still to this day, but he makes a certified killing on the horror convention line, just going around and doing horror conventions.
Yeah.
He leaves out of town for the weekend.
And tell everybody, when did Kane Hodder come into the Jason role?
Let's see, 7?
Part 7.
Yeah, 7. Right after C.J. Graham.
Yeah, and you got to meet Kane Hodder. He said
I've met Kane Hodder multiple times.
Didn't he like choke you in the picture?
Yeah, and the first time I ever met him, which he's not allowed to do that anymore to people because one guy that goes up to Kane Hodder, and Kane Hodder was known to squeeze your neck when he takes pictures with you, complained that Kane squeezed him too hard.
Poor little baby complain.
Yeah, now Kane doesn't do that anymore with his pictures.
Stupid bitch.
But C.J. Graham
severed your larynx.
C.J. Graham was super cool with you one time. You just walked in front.
He grabbed me and was like, "Oh, what? You want to get a picture with me, you big motherfucker? Come over here." And he grabbed my shirt. I thought he was gonna make out with me. He didn't even buy me a drink first.
Yeah,
that's right after Steve Dash said what he said, and the universe did its.
Yeah,
but it was
C.J. Graham's super nice guy, and that's for the majority. Most
probably
of these
should leave out the Steve Dash stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
Most of these actors in the horror genre are super nice people.
Yeah, they are
super nice people, but you do have the assholes.
Yeah, for sure, and opinions are like those, and we have different ones than some of y'all do. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the 81 horror movies episode. We wanted to feed the horror stuff in, with the horror fans on the channel. And next episode, we're going to try to do one of these probably every 5 episodes. We're going to do a wrestling episode. We're going to do WrestleMania just happened when this is being filmed, but we're going to do favorite WrestleMania matches. Mm-hmm. So we're going to dive into that. And hopefully y'all enjoy that one, man. So if y'all haven't,
there's going to be a bunch of Hulkamania running through.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Ultimate Warrior.
Wear your fucking arm tassels. Take a shot of steroids in the ass and come fucking sit down and
Chad, you should wear your Macho Man fit for that, bro.
I second that vote. I totally second that vote.
I got to find it.
Thank you,
I totally will. But yeah, man. Thank y'all so much for the support.
Comment down below. Let us know what y'all thought. Let us know about maybe we passed some up that we didn't have listed. Let us know down below.
Yeah, man. And hit that link, man. Y'all go tap in, leave us some reviews and all that good stuff.
Good stuff.
We're gonna
we appreciate.
Keep this thing pushing, man. And go ahead and Tony, tell them.
We out this motherfucker.
Get us out of here, Tony.
Hold on.
Get us out of here, Tony.
We out this motherfucker. Shout out Squints 615 for producing this biatch.